Bora Bora, fabled South Pacific paradise. Bora Bora is a high volcanic island completely surrounded by a fringing coral reef. There's one pass into the lagoon, and the one town of Vaitape is on the west side of the island. With a small sailboat, you can navigate almost all the way around the lagoon. The water is very calm because of the islands or motus out on the fringing reef. The airport is located all by itself on a motu up at the north end. There's one way to get from the airport to Vaitape, and that's by high-speed ferry. It's about a 15-minute ride. As we approached the little ferry harbor, there was Moku anchored all by herself just outside the entrance. I could see no dinghy hanging off the stern, so I figured Noodle was already at the dock waiting for me. It turns out his daughter Kendra was off on a morning jog around the island. Noodle and Kendra and I went for a walk in the rain, and then Kendra caught the afternoon ferry to the airport to head home. The next day, Noodle took me to his favorite snorkeling spot on the south end of Motu To'opua Iti. Right after that beautiful snorkeling session, a very light north wind came up, and we raised anchor and set the sails and tacked slowly up the west side of the lagoon and around the north tip of the island and then down the east side. And we anchored for the night in a spot that Noodle had been to before, towards the southern end of Motu Piti A'au. Beautiful, quiet anchorage. The next day we motored back to Vaitape to make some final preparations before departing on our 2,300-mile sail to Hilo. We picked up some diesel, and then we met this rain shower that hung out for a couple of hours. But eventually we were able to go in and get our laundry, get a few fresh produce grocery items, and check out with the officials. And the following day was bright and sunny, and we raised the anchor for the last time in 18 days and headed out to sea. Noodle was pretty quick to get some fishing gear out in the water. On day 3, the small squalls that we had been seeing began to grow bigger. During my 1800 to midnight watch, I had several of them with 40-degree wind shifts, the velocity going from nothing to about 25 knots in a few minutes. But the big one came on the morning of day 4. We quickly triple reefed the main and rolled up most of the jib and ran off before the wind. We were both worried that the awning and frame would be blown right off the boat. But you know, for a small production boat that really wasn't designed for ocean sailing, Moku handled the conditions so well. Just a great sailing little boat. Master is at work at his computer station creating his infamous blog that's now up to over 11,000 views. Oh, right on.
Right arm.
Right arm. Might as well go on a tour while we're at it. This is the captain's cabin. All nice and neat. What? It's all nice and neat and organized. Nav station. This is a companionway up here, so we're on the port side. inline galley, very efficient. And up into the dark and foreboding forepeak. Lord knows what lurks up in here. And over on the starboard side, just aft, is the beautiful dinette, which hasn't really gotten used yet on this trip because we always eat out in the cockpit. After the dinette is the spacious and comfortable head. And Tony's messed up stateroom back here underneath the cockpit. Nice trade wind sailing at the moment. We're in day 6, and so far we have not been able to make much easting at all. We're still just about on the longitude of Bora Bora. We've had some southeasterlies, but it didn't last long, and we had thunderstorms while that was going on. Now we've got basically northeasterlies, but hopefully later today the weather charts are showing that it might shift around a little bit to the east and maybe even south of east eventually, so we can start getting to our waypoint. Well, this is day 7. We're about 650 miles north of Bora Bora, 4 degrees south latitude. Beautiful trade wind weather. The wind finally eased up. We're finally able to head east of north. And as you can see, we have no squalls on the horizon. Just typical trade wind sailing, perfect velocity. And we've got the full sail plan. No reefs in any of the sails, just booking along, headed north. We expect the wind to veer a little bit more over the next couple days, and we'll be able to ease the sheets even more. Having a good time out here, making good progress.
Permission to enter your northern realm. Out here! Out here! Out here, you lowly scum! Out here, lowly scum. Tis I, King Neptune! Here, who dares cross this equator? State your name and purpose.
My name is Tony Hoff, sir. I would like to enter your realm.
And I understand, Mr. Hoff, that you are a fan of the Bee Gees.
I am a fan of the Bee Gees.
For that, you will receive punishment.
Oh dear.
No, we don't believe in hazing in this. I understand you are a fine sailor and worthy of entrance into my realm. Is that true?
I am worthy of entrance into your realm, and I humbly request that you allow me to shed my pollywog past and become a shellback now that I have entered your realm.
Well, after much thought and consideration, approved. Let it be known to all that Tony Hoff is now a shellback and entitled to all the benefits of shellbackdom.
Thank you,
Welcome.
sir.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Welcome,
thank
Tony.
you, sir.
And now, to complete the ceremony, as is tradition aboard the mighty Moku, we will offer a toast to King Neptune, Fred, Bob Leary, and all our other dearly departed shellbacks, with Malibu rum.
Malibu.
Malibu
Ooh,
rum.
all right.
Toast
Jesus.
to Neptune.
The rest of it will go over the side to honor those that came before us. Congratulations, and that's the end of our ceremony.
Thank you, King Neptune. Dawn on the 10th morning sees us at 3 degrees north. We're at about 148 west. And our light easterlies that we've had the last 4 days finally petered out last night. And Noodle started the engine on his watch. Pretty calm this morning. It's possible that this sort of mini system off to the southeast here is what's blocking the wind. The wind is trying to come from the southeast, the way the grips have been predicting for several days. So now at about 07:30, that cloud system with the funny shelf look to it is behind us. It's freed the wind up a little bit. Got a tiny bit of wind. And Noodle put up the spinnaker, symmetrical flanker. So this is still day 10 and it's just before sunset. We've got a good southeast trade now. Kind of what we've been waiting for several days. And rather than try and make our easting, the captain decided that we would just go wing on wing and head due north. Take our chances with the northeast trades when we get there. Hopefully we won't be too hard on the wind when we get across the ITCZ. This is dawn, day 11. Southeast trade still with us, increased a little bit overnight. Few squalls out on the horizon. Noodle said he saw a little bit of lightning last night. We're at about 4 degrees north. Noodle says we're actually above 5 degrees north already. Making good time. This is dawn on day 12. We're in the ITCZ. Hey Noodle, what's our latitude? 8 degrees 15 minutes north latitude, so We're well into the intertropical convergence zone. You can kind of tell that by these clouds, a lot of convection around. We haven't seen any lightning yet. I didn't ask Noodle if he saw any on his watch. I just came on watch 0600. And we got a nice south-southwest breeze. It's been holding for a while. Got the boat on wing and wing. As you can see here. And we're running on a course just about due north. We decided not to try to keep getting so far east. We can't really tell without weather data what the trades are doing on the other side of the ITCZ. So we're just going to take a chance that it's not going to be too northeasterly or too strong. Just head straight north. And it's the same morning, same conditions, only a little wetter. We're having some kind of fun now. So this is morning of day 13, just after dawn. Noodle's just finishing up his morning watch, midnight to 6 a.m. watch in about 15 minutes, working on a little bit of sail chafe repair where it's rubbing the railing. And we're at just above 10 degrees north. We had beautiful sailing on northeast wind all night long, a light northeasterly, by pushing the boat along at a nice clip. But we're still kind of at the northern reaches of the intertropical convergence zone, as you can tell by these really beautiful clouds around the horizon, indicating some convection around us still. Some of these clouds getting up pretty high, like this one over here. Convection uplift in that one. But it's just been beautiful sailing since yesterday in the evening when the wind finally came back to us.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath long about a Saturday night. Yeah, rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Well, I stepped out the tub, put my feet on the floor. I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door. And in a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splash, reeling with the feeling, moving and a grooving, rocking and a rolling. I saw the whole gang dancing on my living room rug. Yeah, flip-flops, they was doing the bop. All the teens had the dancing bug. There was Lollipop with a Peggy Sue. But the golly Miss Molly was even there too. Well, a splish splash, I forgot about the bath. I went and put my dancing shoes on. Yeah, I was a rolling and a strolling.
We took a saltwater bucket bath every day, regardless of the weather, and the captain even allowed us a freshwater rinse from the deck shower at the end. It turns out that of the 100-gallon total capacity, water capacity that Mokopea has, when we got to Hilo, we were still on the first 50-gallon tank, hadn't switched tanks. So for 18 days for two guys, we were pretty efficient. We did laundry in salt water too, using the old Joy Lemon Fresh Joy dish soap. The universal soap for salt water works moderately well. And the laundry got a final freshwater rinse as well.
day 14. And Tuesday, day 15. Yeah. Okay, Tuesday, day 15. End of 14. 3 hours, okay. So we finally done get some trade winds early this morning after being light for, gosh, 48 hours. Well, okay. Wannabe beginning trades bending around into the ITCZ or whatever. Yeah, we're hoping they're trades. We're able to hold almost our rum line to Hilo right now, but it's close and we're very close hauled, and we're hoping it veers a bit before the strength increases. We're finally making good tracks after a couple of very slow days.
Which do we like better? Do we like this? Or do we like this?
Oh,
or do we like this?
That's the best right there. Very good.
During the entire trip, we hadn't had any dolphin come by and play at the bow during the day. Several times at night, dolphin came by for a visit, but never during the day. Then on the last day at sea, we had these small whales come by for a visit. After the voyage, I used the terrific Smithsonian Guide to Whales, Dolphins, and Porpoises to identify them as pygmy killer whales. It was tough to decide between pygmy killer whales and melon-headed whales. They're definitely not dolphin or porpoises with the pronounced rounded forehead. They best fit the description for the pygmy killer whales, but seem very large for that species. These were the only mammals we saw on the entire passage, which is a bit unusual. When the dolphin came by at night, we could, of course, hear them but not see them. There was so little bioluminescence in the water, they didn't even leave a trace that way. It was so nice having the visit by these pygmy killer whales, though they were not as active around the boat as dolphin usually are. This particular one looked rather pregnant.
here we are on the last night at sea. We're just 24 miles now from Cape Kumukahi. It's sunset. Got a nice southerly that's been blowing all afternoon. And South Point, there's the sunset. South Point is up here somewhere just off to the right of this sunset. Got some pretty interesting clouds up here. There's a cold front somewhere up to the northwest that's causing this pretty good southerly breeze that's been blowing all afternoon. And Cape Kumukahi, Big Island, is somewhere up there in the mists. Only 24 miles away, so technically we should be able to see it, and you can kind of convince yourself it's there. Charging along. Fish on.
Oh, that's a big one.
Big one. Here comes dinner. Okay.
It's on the other lure now.
All right, I'll get it.
Oh, he just came off this one. This one just came off.
Looks like this one came off too. Yeah, shoot. That was a big one.
You can see it going through the lure.
Yeah. So it was the same fish that went for both.
No, I had one on.
Oh, okay.
And then another one went for your lure.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, let's pull the lures in and see what's there. Yeah. Good timing. This one's missing completely. Yeah. That was a good lure too. That was the one that was hitting all day. Nothing on the end. So much for that. Yeah. Really took off. Yeah. Yeah. He go down. Oh well. Oh, we're going this fast, yeah.
The clouds didn't look particularly menacing at sunset, but shortly after dark we started seeing lightning around the horizon, and then in the middle of my watch we were right in the thick of it. The closest strike came during Noodle's watch, and it was really scary. And suddenly at 0600 we were anchored in Radio Bay, Hilo Harbor, and a few hours after that Lori arrived, and we were off to explore the Big Island. Passage over. Beautiful Moku. What a great little ship. After a couple of days enjoying the Big Island, we decided to sail the 225 miles the rest of the way from Hilo to Kaneohe non-stop, staying north and east of the islands. We had originally planned to take 4 days and cruise back at a more leisurely pace, but the trade winds had piped up. The cruising would not have been much fun with rolling anchorages, and Lori wisely decided to take Hawaiian Airlines back. We had the anchor up at 0600, and soon we were leaving tire marks in the waves behind us. 24 hours later, we expected to be off the northwest coast of Maui, but we were so fast overnight that we were already halfway down the north shore of Molokai.
Here's a sea. Yeah, baby.
As is often the case, after thousands of miles of ocean cruising, we get the strongest consistent wind and roughest seas in Hawaii. A mere 5 hours later, we were making the approach to Kaneohe Bay, my old stomping grounds. After almost 20 days of the autopilot doing all the steering, Noodle decided to hand steer, last 15 minutes. The whole passage was quite amazing, and what a great way to end it. Okay, so we gotta have some Bee Gees. This one's called Too Much Heaven.
Nobody gets too much heaven no more. It's much harder to come by. I'm waiting in line. just a dream.